Okay, so was university your first exposure to computer science, programming, or did you participate in any activities that you think beforehand would have helped improve your logical thinking skills?
Other than in high school, we had part of one of our math classes was logic based. Um, this was the first structured programming class I had taken.
Okay, and why did you pick to study computer science as your major?
Well, my dad actually is a programmer, and I enjoyed seeing how the process of computers work and getting them to perform functions for me, so I don't have to.
Okay, so how do you usually complete homework assignments? Do you start when they're assigned, or do you wait until a little bit later?
I am and have always been a procrastinator, so usually on most assignments I put it off until about 2 or 3 days before it's due.
Mm. And when you like are doing an assignment, do you usually run into any roadblocks? What do you do when you hit a roadblock and you're procrastinating?
I've tried to make friends in class
Mm.
to prevent that roadblock from happening. Really, um, either work in study groups or uh, have someone that I know is also working on it at the same time to help them or have them help me.
Okay, and do you think your assignment guidelines are clear usually? Do you think they could be improved anyway?
For me, being in the intro class, it isn't always as clear as I would like it,
Mm.
but I feel like sometimes that's the challenge of like, uh, this is the program that you need to write.
Mm.
Use your knowledge and the knowledge you've been given um, to the best of your ability. If you need to know more, you have other external resources than the class or the professor.
Okay, and how do you study for tests in this class?
Um, I typically go over the notes I take in class, or uh, I'll look back at the programs that I've written during that term
Mm.
and just sort of see how it is set up and go back over the logic of the statements and whatnot.
Okay, so you seem like you study alone. Have you ever tried group studying or looked into it?
I've done a little bit. It usually ends up being just talking though,
Okay, so
so
you
I
don't get
study on
much
my own
done.
for that.
Okay. So, do you think that the assigned projects you get in class for programming are boring or useless?
At the time, yes, but I can see that it's teaching the basic skills, and
Okay.
it's the basic skills which bore me, and I'm ready to get started on the big stuff.
Okay. So, are you working on any projects outside of class right now on your own? Anything?
I have been trying to program my own calculator for a video game,
Mm.
just calculating different orbital trajectories for a spaceflight game.
Oh, okay.
Um, it's got a lot of variables in it, so declaring those, remembering semicolons was definitely a big, uh, not necessarily a roadblock, but something I had to keep in mind so I didn't get everything out of order.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to integrate functions, which has been something I've struggled with recently.
Okay. And with that project, so you are using the knowledge you learned in class more so, or have you like had to look through other sources to get the stuff you needed to make it?
I've looked back in the notes a little bit. The book, I'm not a textbook person,
Mm.
but I've noticed online there are a lot of forums which have um, helpful tools and examples on like how to begin the setup of like I said, a function. So
Mm.
I'll look at the basic structure and then I can fill in my information that I want to put into the function.
Mm. And do you feel like working on this has helped you at all in the class? Like understand the material better?
I think it has helped understand the material. It's it's to a point at which that um, like the in class examples aren't really applied to something that I'm interested in.
Mm.
Sometimes, like I don't care about house loans, but um, but this is something that is just really for me and it's something I'm interested in, and I know where my goal is.
Mm.
So I can see the end game, and that's where I'm trying to go. So I'm working through the problem with my own motivation rather than this is a classwork assignment I need to get done.
Okay. So do you participate in any of the CCI clubs?
I have not yet gone to any of the meetings. I went to an interest meeting, but I haven't integrated it into my time schedule.
What was the club you went to the interest meeting for? What?
I don't remember what the name of it was. It was early in the year.
Okay. So, do you know about the services the university provides to our department?
There's that one room in Woodward that like the TAs will be in. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like right up there on that main floor level.
Yeah, it's tutoring system.
Yeah, I've gone there a couple times to like when I hit a big roadblock. Usually it's like the day, like a day before the program is needed to be submitted. I'll go there and to the tutoring center and have them walk me through where I've made my error.
Okay. And do you usually come out understanding it better than you did going in, or did you just kind of get the project done and not really fully understand?
Usually I have a full understanding of it. If not, I've gotten it enough at that time to at least get myself started on understanding how it's supposed to work.
So, are there any services that you think the university could offer in addition to this to like help students with their programming assignments, or just with their class in general?
I think the availability of the tutoring center is good. Could be a bit broader. I know a few people that their schedules conflict a little bit with the tutoring center, but I feel like that and other resources are in ready supply, depending on your own schedule.
Okay. So would you say that the majority of your friends are in computer science or in other majors?
I have a few friends in the major, and then I also have other circles outside of that.
So, like,
so maybe about a third are in my major.
Okay, and do you think that having these friends helped your grade in the class at all? Helped you be more involved with it?
It's definitely given me a study group to, like I was saying earlier, to go back and reference, like, hey, I need help on this problem. Can you help me? Or I can help them, and working together within the major, and also having that friend group, just sort of builds the trust on like their knowledge of the information, but also gives me someone that I can struggle through everything with.
So, would you say that you're doing good in the class?
I'm doing reasonably well for an intro class and not knowing the material beyond basic skills of remember a semicolon.
Okay, and do you see yourself continuing the major after the semester?
I think so. Going from high school into college, I was coming in with a few different ideas, but right now being on this track, it feels suitable for me where I am right now. If I don't continue as a computer science major, I'll definitely find another one that incorporates computer science or programming in it.
Okay. Well, that's all the questions I have for today. Anything? Okay.
Go Niners!